Bills play the Bucs Sunday. Robert, Josh Allen seems to have a lot on the line in this one. What are your thoughts about what he's looking at here?
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot on the line, and I just don't think that he is the issue with the Buffalo Bills. And did you see him throwing the ball into the wind on Monday night? I mean, he looked like Peyton Manning throwing at those little kids on SNL. It was incredible. That throw he had the Diggs down the sideline. I mean, how was he able to do that? But I don't think he's the issue. Their defense, right, they couldn't stop the running game. I saw Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde at the press conference post-game. They were upset about the questions, but they have to step up around him. The running game has to improve. Obviously, the receivers have to catch the ball, and they just have to let Josh Allen be Josh Allen. Be free willy-nilly, go out there, run around, throw it, get on the move. And right now I just feel like they're holding him in. Let that Phoenix flourish, man. He's a special player. Let him go ball out and do his thing.
Yeah, just because you have an arm that can throw a ball through a hurricane doesn't mean you should. Maybe you run the ball, as Bill Belichick showed, right? Look, I had a thought, guys, like Brady to Gronk. The question is Brady to Gronk, because he's a tight end and not a wideout. But is that the greatest pass, quarterback to pass catcher of all time? Because, apologies to Aikman and Michael Irvin or Bradshaw and Lynn Swann. Until now, it's clearly been Montana to Rice. Joe Montana to Jerry Rice. Peyton. 69 touchdowns in an era with fewer passing touchdowns, right? Like, let's just face it. But also 4 Super Bowls. But has Brady to Gronk, Nick, replaced Montana to Rice as the #1 combination in that way of all time?
I mean, listen, if you ask me, I say yes. Yeah. And I'll tell you a funny story about this. Gronk's rookie season, and I don't feel bad now. I don't feel bad now because he's a Hall of Famer. But his rookie season, he comes in, he's a draft pick, he's young. I played Sam linebacker, so I had to cover him every single day during training camp.
That must have been fun.
Literally, Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski in training camp his rookie season was unstoppable then because he was young and he was faster and he caught everything that Tom threw to him, and his range and the ability for Tom to put the ball in the perfect place. You could be on him and you could have great coverage, but it didn't matter because Gronk has the biggest hands, his radius is huge, and Tom is so accurate. So I don't feel bad now. At the time I'm like, man, I stink. But I don't feel bad about it because, 90 touchdowns later, I don't feel so bad.
Kimberley, I am one of these fools in the media, I'm sorry, who I am counting championships. It's not everything, but, if you won 1 and these dudes won 4 together, I'm passing you up for the guys who won 4 together, like Montana and Rice and Brady and Gronk. Who's the greatest combination?
So when you posed the question, I immediately was like, well, recency bias. Like, what about Montana and Rice? What about Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, right? Like, how we just forget about those old heads. And then you think about the fact that had Gronk not gotten hurt, had he not retired, their numbers would be even better.
Yeah.
So that's the scary thing to me. And the championships, like you said, it's hard to argue against the GOAT and the GOAT tight end. It's very hard to argue against that.
It's the thing about Montana to Rice, just so people know, they were 4-0 in the Super Bowl, not Montana to Rice, but the Niners. And Montana had 13 touchdowns against 0 interceptions. And Jerry Rice, for a while, was considered, is he the GOAT football player of all time? Like, kids may not know, but it was like that. And you can go and look up the numbers for yourself. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.